Origins Remastered. Possibly one of the most overrated maps in history. Now, I have no beef with Origins, okay? I love Origins. I think it's a great map, and Jason Blundell did a very good job with it. But there's definitely some things wrong with the map. Now, today, we're going to be going through some of the I'm going to go a little nitpicky here, but I am going to go through some of the the things that are wrong with Origins. Not Origins, but specifically Origins Remastered. Now, before you say, oh, he's just going to mention the Gobblegums, I'm actually not. Gobblegums are probably were made for Origins. They were great with Origins. They work well because Origins is literally a Black Ops 3 map on Black Ops 2 engine. That's all out of the way. I love the Gobblegums on Origins. I think they're great. But there is one thing that I cannot stand about Origins. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the mud. The mud on Origins Remastered absolutely blows my mind how one little flaw can destroy an entire map. Because guys, literally with Origins Remastered, you cannot move in the mud even if you have stamina up. So this could be a huge flaw when you're trying, for example, trying to get the lightning staff, because the lightning staff requires a lot of running technically, because you have to ride on the tank. The first one's easy, but the second one, you have to jump off the tank if you're playing solo, get the part, run back, jump off into the mud, and then run and jump on the tank again, which makes it a little bit tricky with the new mud system. Now, without stamina up, it is completely impossible. You cannot do it without stamina up whatsoever. But with stamina up, it makes it 0.1% possible. It is really hard to do this. But with luck and good slides and good placement with your slides, you can manage to actually do it with stamina up. So, if you don't have stamina up, what are you gonna do? Because when you jump off of the lightning piece and go to get the ice, or to go get the other lightning piece, I mean, to get on the tank, you can't. Because the tank goes so ridiculously fast that you actually can't make it without stamina up. And even with stamina up, it's hard to make it, so you pretty much need zombie blood, but there's no gobblegum for that, and you can't use in plain sight, so that doesn't make it any easier. Now, there is one thing that does make this a lot better, and that is killing time, because you can freeze the tank. But I'm looking at the bad things on Origins for this video, and no, I'm not just gonna rant on Origins and then never touch this again. This is gonna be a series, guys. The next, I'm gonna say, well, 8 days, I'm going to be going through all of the remastered maps, saying that what is wrong about them. And then next week, I am going to go through that and do what's good about them. So you can look forward to that in my channel within the next couple weeks. Now, after the mud, let's say you want to go and get the wind staff pieces. So when you go to get the wind staff pieces, I don't know if it's just me, but the robot's foot is extremely glitchy sometimes. Sometimes you can shoot the robot's foot directly in the middle. Sometimes it depends on the gun. You can't really do it with a sniper, but even if you use an assault rifle sometimes, it really is hard to do. Because when you do so, it tends to either glitch through or it doesn't register or something. I don't know. But it doesn't work. It just glitches, and you end up getting stomped on, losing your perkaholic, or whatever you're using, and getting triggered. Now, that is just my opinion, of course. But I'm not saying Origins is bad. I'm just saying this is what's bad about Origins. Okay? Now, why did they make it so that there's no gobblegum that you can use to get zombie blood? If you could use in plain sight to get the plane down, to find the guy that has the Maxis drone, or even to just run faster in the mud in general. It would make things a lot quicker. Now, I understand about the mud. I'm going to go back to the mud for a minute. I understand why they did this. I really do. It's because of shopping free. Because if you have shopping free and it's last gen mud or old gen mud, you're definitely going to have an easy time getting all of the doors. So let's even it out just a tiny bit. So they have picture a rope. You have a rope a little bit wavy because of gobblegums. You pull it a little bit on one end because you put in the mud, which makes it, I guess, a little bit better or a little bit more fair. But on the other side, you've got someone pulling on the other rope because there's some people, yes there is guys, that don't use gobblegums on their remastered maps because they want it to be the old map. Which is understandable. But if you don't use gobblegums on these maps, you are at a terrible disadvantage. And again, I don't recommend not using gobblegums. I think they're good for this map, but I'm not saying you should buy them. I think buying COD points is one of the worst things you can do because you're not guaranteed to get the thing that you are buying. Now, one more thing about Origins that I do not like about this map is the staff glitch. So say you get all of your upgraded staffs or whatever. Sometimes sometimes it'll happen with the step where you need to place all the staffs in the robots. Sometimes it'll happen when you have to get them in the crazy place. But it can make them so that it absolutely doesn't let you pick up the fire staff, and that can be extremely frustrating, especially when you're going for a speed run. Because of that, you no longer have the ability to beat your speed run. So say you're having a world record run and you're actually about to get the record, sometimes it will not let you pick up the fire staff, causing you to restart. I just wanted to bring that up. Another thing I wanted to briefly mention, I don't know if it's really confirmed, but the soul boxes seem to take a lot more zombies now. And it just isn't fair because sure, it's better to do it with the staff, but they pretty much made it so that you need a staff. Okay? It's really hard to do it without it because the mud's slowing you down, and you're at a disadvantage, and it takes more zombies. There was one more thing that a couple more things I wanted to bring up. One is that if, I'm forgetting what it is. Right. It's basically, guys, why is it the Annihilator? Like, why did they put the Annihilator on all of the maps? Now, this is a lot nitpicky. Okay, I'm sorry. But it's very, very nitpicky. Because of the fact that it's on all of the maps and not just Origins, but I have to bring this in. Why not the Ragnaroks? They would have fit well into things like Moon, Origins, and, you know, the Shangri-La could have had either the Skull of Nonsofway, the Gauntlet of Siegfried, and it would have been great. But I could understand the Annihilator on maps like Nocturne Choten, Verrucht, and Shino Numa. It makes sense. Now, one thing I wanted to bring up is about the staffs. Again, we're going back to the staffs. I know, they're super good, one of the best guns of all time, but it has been confirmed on the remastered versions, you reload a lot slower. Also, with the old guns they brought back, like the Galil, it takes about approximately 3.5 years to reload that thing without Speed Cola, and then when you get Speed Cola, it's not even that much faster. You literally reload it like you should without Speed Cola. So it's really, really weird. But overall, I think Origins Remastered is great, and I love it. I still play it a lot. It's probably one of the more maps that I play of Zombies Chronicles. I just wanted to bring up the fact that these are things that they should not have included. Also, why does it take 5 million tries to get the golden helmet now? You could literally get it after 5 dig sites if you're lucky on last gen, but on this, you need it because the robots are so annoying with Perkaholic, so you want to keep your gobblegums. But the robots, if you got the golden helmet, basically how you got that was you got the shovel, then you got the golden shovel after digging a certain amount of dig sites. And then after digging more dig sites, you would eventually be granted with the golden helmet. So it really, and basically what that did was when the robots stomped on you, you did not take any damage. You could survive, right? So that made the map a lot better and a lot more even. So the next thing I want to bring up is, why did they replace Widow's Wine with PhD? Again, this is nitpicky because it's with all of DLC 5, right? It's all Zombies Chronicles didn't have PhD, but PhD was in Origins, so it should have, in the Wonder Fizz, so they should have at least put it in the Wonder Fizz. So that is just what I wanted to bring up about Origins. It's overrated, yes, but it's good, yes. Also, it's not bad. These are just things that could possibly, if they were worse, make it bad. Now, I believe in a couple minutes, it's going to show the lightning staff, and I want to show this because it's so hard to do this, because it takes so long. The mud is so slow. I'm going to show you this, guys, and then I'm probably going to end off the video, but because I don't know why, but literally these are all the points I had brought up. So also the tank is a lot slower now and the zombies are a lot faster. Look at how slow this tank is. On old Origins you would go about twice time, double faster, if that makes sense. You would go double the speed that you usually do. So look at this. I get all of my slides in, time them perfectly, get to the tank. I'm actually at the tank, but it doesn't let me climb up. See, that is my biggest problem with the Origins, is the mud. That's why I brought it up first. The rest are just little nitpicks. But anyways, guys, that's why I don't like this. Now, what I was going to bring up is the staffs are a lot slower, and the upgraded shots actually last shorter. They don't last as long. So the staffs are essentially nerfed, but they have more damage, they just don't last as long. Anyways, guys, that is my problems with Origins Remastered. I love the map. It's not that I don't like the map. It's just that I don't think the mud, the tank, the robot foot, and other little stuff like that, the golden helmet, I feel like they should be touched up on a little bit. Like, if you don't use gobblegums, sure, you're at a disadvantage, but that's your choice. They should have been a game mode where, to do the Easter eggs, you could not use gobblegums, right? Just to make things better, just because the mud is so extremely slow now. So it's really hard. They could have done easier original stuff like that. Anyways, that's what I wanted to bring up against Origins Remastered. Next, I think I'm either going to do Moon or Ascension. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, and if you're new, subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Anyways, guys, I am ZDawg, and of course...